As financial advisors focused on guiding people who are nearing retirement, we've seen firsthand how reaching $1 million in savings becomes a true inflection point in a retirement plan. And it's not just about the number itself, it's about what that number represents: opportunity, flexibility, and perhaps most importantly, the chance to retire with confidence. That's why we're making today's video, to explore why your retirement outlook fundamentally changes when you cross the $1 million threshold, how compound interest continues working for you, and how to leverage that milestone for tax-efficient strategies that create more wealth and security. Let's get right into it. The power of hitting $1 million in retirement savings. So what changes at $1 million, right? Once you've reached seven figures in your retirement portfolio, you are no longer in accumulation mode alone. You're now in a position where you can begin planning for real-life income withdrawals, stress testing your plan, and making strategic shifts from growth to preservation. Here are three key elements that begin to shift. First, there's a psychological security. $1 million portfolio often provides peace of mind that retirement is possible. There's strategic leverage. At this stage, tools like Roth conversions, withdrawal sequencing, and tax bracket management become more impactful. And then there's compound interest momentum. $1 million compounding at a conservative 5% annually adds $50,000 in growth per year without additional contributions. Now, before hitting the $1 million mark, retirement often feels like a moving target. You're still building, vulnerable to volatility, and focused on accumulation. But once you're over $1 million, your portfolio can often support itself through compounding. You're no longer asking, how much more do I need, but rather, how do I optimize what I have? Now, before we continue, I want you to understand this doesn't mean that you don't need $1 million to retire. Your retirement number is completely personal to your situation. And if you would like someone to take a look at your situation, we will send you a personalized video analyzing exactly where you stand for retirement. To get started, just click on the first link in the description and fill out the short questionnaire. We'll send you a personalized video within 3 to 4 business days. Okay, now does having $1 million mean you can retire sooner than you think? Well, possibly, but only if you understand your portfolio income needs. Your portfolio income needs refers to the actual income your portfolio must produce to fund your retirement lifestyle. It's not a guess, it's a number that's based on your core spending needs or your essential expenses, healthcare costs, guaranteed income sources like Social Security or pensions or anything like that, and your lifestyle goals like travel, hobbies, charitable giving, and the amount of years that you will spend in retirement. So here's a quick example. So if you needed $72,000 per year and Social Security was going to give you $35,000 per year, your portfolio needs to generate $37,000 annual. Keep in mind that's net, not gross. Now, if you're retiring at 67 and want to test your longevity to age 90, that means you'll need to plan for 23 years of withdrawals, and so at least $851,000 net total. If your $1 million can do that with a sustainable withdrawal strategy, you may already be ready to retire. Let's go to find out how you can fully optimize retirement after reaching $1 million. When you pass the $1 million mark, the next step isn't to keep mindlessly growing. The next step is to shift from accumulation to optimization. And here's how you do that. You're going to want to model your real retirement income needs. So avoid overestimating and working longer than necessary. Run simulations based on realistic returns and inflation. Ditch that outdated tools like the 4% rule. You're going to want to evaluate your risk exposure. Depending on your PIN, $1 million portfolio might afford to be more stable. And then make sure that you build an adaptable framework. The world and your needs will change. Your plan should be set up to do that too. Okay, next, let's go over why $1 million opens the door to tax-efficient withdrawal strategies. At this level, every percentage point matters, and so does every tax decision. Let's take a look at a case study that shows how we used tax planning to grow and protect wealth. Meet Karen, age 55 with $1,050,000 in retirement savings, $750,000 in a traditional 401k, $200,000 in a Roth IRA, $100,000 in her brokerage account, and $50,000 in cash. So Karen's challenge was, how do I avoid losing so much to taxes in retirement? For the solution, we built a strategy around her unique timeline and account types. First, we focused on Roth conversions during low income years. Between her retirement at age 63 and starting Social Security at age 70, we converted portions of her 401k to a Roth IRA while she was in a lower bracket. This saved over $50,000 in projected future taxes. Second, we prioritized sequenced withdrawals. We focused on income from her brokerage first, a tax advantage gains, from her Roth account second, so tax-free income when needed, and then her traditional IRA last, which helped reduce RMDs later on. We'll talk about that in a moment. We also made sure to keep an eye on tax bracket management. We kept her income level steady to avoid high bracket spikes, Medicare surcharges, and Social Security taxation. We also made sure to incorporate some long-term capital gains harvesting. We realized gains in low-income years to minimize tax liability. The results? Karen's Roth IRA had grown to $350,000. She lowered her future required minimum distributions, and her projected total retirement tax savings was roughly $150,000. So, in conclusion, crossing $1 million in retirement savings isn't just a numeric goal, it's a turning point. It's when your plan becomes less about how much more can I accumulate and more about how do I wisely use what I have. But remember, no portfolio number, even $1 million, guarantees success without clarity on your portfolio income needs. Now you should know why everything changes once you have $1 million and how you can use these savings to create more wealth. However, I don't want you thinking that you need $1 million to retire. Everyone's retirement number is different, and what's most important is using what you have to your advantage and creating a plan based on your personal situation. That's why we're offering to send you a complimentary video analyzing your plan, showing you where you stand for retirement, in highlighting areas of opportunity to create more wealth. To get started, click on the first link in the description and fill out the questionnaire. Till next time, take care.